everyone. Today we're going to make this sleigh. The original concept for this sleigh came from Susan Chamlerlin from our Facebook group Country Craft Creations. I will have a link to her original video. In her video she has a detailed description on how to make this box if you do not have a cutter. Also I have a PDF which will make this box also. This sleigh. So just to give you a heads up, this was made in Make the Cut. So if you bring it up in Make the Cut and do your cutting machine, it will cut out to the right dimensions. If you bring it up in Cricut Design Space, it does not give it in the correct dimensions that it needs to be in. So with that being said, I have included in the zip file a word sheet that tells you what exactly all the pieces need to be. So if you want to just hand make this and you don't have a cutter, go see the great video from Susan, and she gives you step by step on how to make everything. So with that being said, let's get started. So for your first piece, which is sleigh number 1, you are going to need 4 pieces of lightweight chipboard at 11.5 by 3.15. That's in the cutting section. I put them in chipboard black, and then you're going to need 4 pieces of pattern paper, whichever one you want it to be in. Now remember, when you do this, you're going to have to flip in the description or in the software. You're going to have to flip one of these pattern papers, because they're all, if you print them like this, then they're all going to, you're going to have 2 white sides. So make sure you flip 2 of them to go this way, so that way you have all 4 going the right direction. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 of your pieces, and I'm just using glue for this, and you're going to glue these pieces together. Make sure that they're strong and sturdy. Make sure you apply a liberal amount of glue, not one that's going to seep out all over the place, but one where you can get all the edges. You're going to take one and place it on top of the other, just like that. Make sure that they're even. And then you're going to take your clippies and just clippy them together so it holds them together in the same spot. You don't have to do this, but while I'm making the other one, this one can dry. So that you're going to set aside. You're going to take your other 2 pieces and you're going to apply your glue. Nice liberal glue on there, nice amount. Now I do want to tell you, I did not use chipboard for all my pieces, only for the sleigh's bottom here, because I didn't want, once the sleigh gets heavy, your railings here get a little, they want to go sideways. So I only used chipboard on the feet, because I didn't want, and I used heavy cardstock for the other places, so that way they can stay pretty light. But I used like the 110 cardstock, which I'll show you here in a minute. So we'll let them dry just a minute. We're going to get this. Okay, so now that they're glued on and they're dry, I'm going to take one and move this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to apply my tape. to my chipboard. You want to make sure that you get enough tape on there to keep the piece together. So I tried to run it along the edges of the project, so that way it will hold all the way through. And you're going to put tape all along this whole thing. You can glue it if you like. I just thought it was made it too heavy with the glue, so we're going to just tape it. So now I got one on. I'm going to take a piece. Let's see, let's apply a little bit more tape over here, because there is none there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take one piece. Sorry, I'm out of camera here. And we're going to just lay this right on top of here. You want to make sure that it's even before you tack it down. So like this one here, I kind of got a little tacked it down before it was ready. So I'm just going to lightly take that up to the end here. And then I'm going to push it over a little bit more. There we go. So now you have one side done. Then you're going to take your other piece. You're going to apply your tape, just like you did before, all the way around, or your glue, whichever one you decide to use. It doesn't really matter, whichever one you feel like using. We're going to apply tape on here, put some tape here, put some tape on this one, and run some tape all the way down to the end. Sorry for the rolling noise. Anybody who has one of these knows that they're not that quiet. And I oiled this one up too. Alright, so now we have that one. And we're going to take this piece. Make sure it's even around there. And we're just going to take it and line it up. Line it up on your top pieces first. Now I will let you know that on this, right here in the corner over here, when you do the SVG, there is one spot that kind of, I could not get the piece to come off. So if that bugs you, just cut it off. If not, just leave it. So now you have both pieces nice and sturdy and firm. And now we're going to do the other piece. Okay. So take this one off. And you're going to apply your tape in the same manner you did before, all the way along the edges, because you want to make sure that the edges are taped down good. Apply a couple of spots here on this one, a couple of spots on this one, and then we're going to do this one. Now I am using heavyweight chipboard on this one. They are pretty thick. You could use a lightweight chipboard and apply it all over. Have it for everything, but I'm using 110-pound paper for my sleigh, so I didn't feel that I needed to have the bigger, heavier chipboard. So I'm going to place this one on here, sure that that's centered okay. Now you want to be careful when you put these on because you want to make sure that they're as straight as possible. So I just lay them down a little bit at a time. So that way I know that it's on straight. So now we have that one. We're going to take our last one. We're going to apply some tape. Alright, I'm going to apply some tape here. Apply some tape down here. There's that one. And we're going to apply some tape here. Apply some tape over on this one. And like I said, you can use glue, you can use tape, you can use score tape, whichever you are more comfortable using, use it. I use my glue all the time, which when I'm doing the actual sleigh, I will use most time glue. But for this one, I just felt that it was just too much. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it right there. Make sure it's even. Alright, so now we have these completed. So you should have both pieces completed. We're going to set those to the side. For sleigh piece number 2, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard or heavy cardstock. I'm using heavy cardstock. You're going to need 2 pieces of pattern paper of the same design for the outside. And then you're going to need 2 pieces for the design for the inside. So this is my outside, this is my inside. What I did, using her tutorial, is you want to draw a line for a 1/2 inch here, a 1/2 inch line here, and then from this line to this line, it's going to be 2 3/4. That is where you're going to make your little box right here, this little pocket. So a 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then from this line to this line, it's going to be 2 3/4. So you're going to do that on both sides. Because what this is going to do, this when you put the sleigh together, this line is going to be your guideline for putting the bottom piece on. And these are your guidelines for the pockets. So you got those 2. And then for my 2 pieces of green, I did the same thing. The only thing I did differently on these is I cut a slip mark in between my lines up here. Because as you notice in here, I attached them on the inside of the wall here, so I don't want them to show. So you can by all means leave it that way, or just don't do the inside, just do them separately. It's all up to you. So I just cut me a slit so I can stick my sides inside in here. So we're going to lay those off to the side for now. We're going to get our 3rd piece, sleigh 3 and sleigh 4. And what you're going to do with 4 is you're going to take 1 piece and you're going to score it down the middle. You're going to do that with 2 pieces. And then you're going to take your 1 white piece or heavy chipboard or light chipboard, whatever you want to use, And then 2 pieces of pattern paper. I use the same for the inside and the outside. These are going to be 12 wide by 4.5. Because this is going to also cover these pieces here up too. So what you're going to do is you're just going to fold your pieces, and then what you're going to do is you're going to apply tape or glue, whichever you prefer. I'm going to apply glue. Like I said, for the runners, the glue is fine for those, and then the other one I just taped on. But for this one, we're going to glue on. Put a nice liberal amount of glue. Take your piece, and then you're going to attach it to your piece here. So just make sure that they're even. Now I did cut out probably 6 of these. You're probably only going to need 2, but I cut out extra just in case. So now that one's on there, like that. And then we're going to take the next piece. We're going to apply some glue on there. Nice liberal amount of glue on that one. And then we're going to attach it the same way. We're going to take it and butt it up to this. Make sure that they're even, so that way you've got your fold in there. So just fold it up. Line it up, make sure it's even. Let it sit for a moment. Now that's going to be the bottom of the sleigh itself. And you want, when you do your chipboard, you want to make sure that the chipboard is flexible enough that it's going to fold. That's why I use the heavier cardstock on this. Alright, so now you have that. Then what you're going to want to do is on the, let's see, this is going to go on the inside. It's going to go this way. So what you're going to want to do is take your piece and cover this whole side here with the folds down. But you're going to cover those up also. So take your piece of paper. You're going to take your glue or your tape, whichever you prefer, or a combination of both, whichever. And you're going to apply a nice amount of glue on your piece. Make sure you have enough glue everywhere, because you don't want this coming off. So we are going to plop this on right in the middle. And I use glue on these because it's easier to move these around in the beginning. So you'll want to make sure that it's kind of like in the middle, and just apply that on. Now I did make it longer than the 12. Alright guys, so I've noticed during my videos that I was not in focus. So I moved my camera when I stopped, so don't mind the mess. Alright, so now you have your one piece. This is your bottom piece here. You've got your 2 folds here. I did apply this to the bottom. Now, this one you're going to set aside for now because you're not going to be using that one. You're going to take your 2 white pieces from your beginning, and in the beginning this is going to fold inward this way, and this is going to go butt up right against it. But what you want to do first in the beginning of this is take your piece, line it up here, and you're going to rock this down. When your line here reaches here, you're going to make a little pencil mark on your piece. So you're going to line it up, make sure it's even, and then you're going to rock it. And then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to mark where that lands. So right there. And you're going to do that on both sides. So flip this up a little bit, because this is going to go on the outside. So this is going to be on the outside here. And then this is going to, once we cut it, this is going to go down. So now you have that. Now you're going to do the same thing on this side. Take it, match it up, just like this. You're going to lift this up a little bit, fold it on that fold, and then you're just going to take your piece and you're just going to rock it down a little bit. Once it hits, you're going to make a little tick mark right there, because that's where you're going to cut. Now you're going to take your scissors. I don't have any out. You're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut that piece right there on those lines. Right there. Right there. So now your piece is like this. So these are going to get folded up and these are going to get folded back down. And those are going to be out of the way for a little bit. So now you have these. What you're going to do is you're going to take your piece and you're going to glue that on there. So you can take your piece of glue and you're just going to glue that on there. You're going to take it and you're going to lay it right there on the beginning. Make sure it folds in. So now you have the piece connected here. Let it dry a little bit. So put your little tabs here so that way it can dry in place. Flip back that down. Take this piece. Put some glue on there. And all you're doing is putting enough glue on here so that way it stays in place for now, until you get the rest of the pieces on. So you have that. I'm getting glue all over my fingers. So I went too far up. Alright, so there's that one. Take your little pins, your clippies, clip them on. And it doesn't have to go all the way down to the end here with the glue. Now you're just going to let them set for a little bit. And then we'll continue on. Alright guys, so this piece is completed. It is dried. Take that off. So now you should have a piece that looks just like this. If these are floating around on the side here, that's okay. Leave them there. They're not taped to anything. You're going to use those here in a little bit. So now what you want to do is what I did on this one is I took it and I butted it up as close as I can to this line here. Made it go all the way down here. Butt it up so you have less of a hole in that corner right over there. Once you do that, what you want to do is mark you a line on your bottom piece as I did here. 2 lines, because that's where your pieces are going to go. You want to do that on both sides. Butt that up as far as you can to that corner so you don't have a hole in there. Butt it up and then butt it up to this end here. Mark you off 2 lines as I did here. So I did 1 here and 1 up here. Okay. Now what I did also is when I butt this up here is I made a line to where this falls at. So a little bit past. So I made 2 lines here just a little bit because that's where I'm going to cut this piece here. Because this is going to go like this so it covers this top piece here and it covers those holes. So once you get all that done, what you're going to do is you're going to apply glue just to this top piece. I would just do it on this side of the score line, all the way up to the top, down to that score line, all the way across. Apply your glue. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece, you're going to maneuver it to where it's in the middle on both sides, up at the top, and you're going to seal that in. Wipe off any unnecessary glue. So now you have this piece looking like this. These are not totally glued down just yet, just on that one inside piece. Let that dry just a little bit, because now what you're going to do, where you have that marked on the inside here, you're going to chip that off, or make a little mark, cut it off. Well, not cut it off, but just, well, we'll leave it for now. So now you have this piece right here. I would go ahead and continue to glue that piece there onto here. So that way that piece is down. Alright, so now you're not going to worry about this piece just yet. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your inside pieces, which are these, and you're going to glue them on the inside. Now I have made a change of plans. I'm going to leave the slits in there, but I'm not going to put my insides in there. So your next step is to take your insides and you're going to glue those in. So just apply your glue or your tape or a combination of both, whichever one you decide. Make sure they're along the edges so that way it gets those edges. And you're just going to apply glue all over this piece of paper. Alright, now what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to lay it on top of this one. Now you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, my lines are on that one. But if you did it in the beginning, your lines will also be on this piece right here. So just make sure those are tacked down. Okay, so now you have this piece here. And it goes over like this. Just make sure that that's even all the way around. Burnish it down, so that way it's down. Make sure that it still flips in, because you want that to flip inside. Take this piece, do the same thing. Apply your glue or tape or a combination of both. Apply it all over the edges first. Make sure that you've got the edges first. And then continue the rest of it. And because I already got the slip marks in there, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to cover them up whenever I put the other things on. So that will go there. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it on this side. Make sure that it's even. Even up here on the front. Make sure this can still bend over, because you want that to bend over. Alright, now we're going to let that piece dry. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this portion here and we're going to glue it all the way down to here. So everything gets glued down. You're not going to worry about those lines or anything that I said earlier, because we don't need them now, because I've decided to change my plans. And you're not going to cut this piece right here. You're not going to cut into that piece at all either. So everything is just one piece. So apply enough glue to make sure that it stays on. Make sure you get these edges. Alright. So now we are going to put this down, burnish it, so that way it keeps it together. Oops. Alright. So now you have this piece here. This is still your white piece. This is your outside. This is going to be the inside of your box. These pieces here are going to bend down this way, and they are going to attach to the insides of these pieces here. All you're going to do is roll it up, get it to as close as you can to that wall there, and you're going to butt it up to this piece here. And I thought I had this piece marked for the other pieces. Guess not. Guess it's only there. Okay. So bring that down, bring this down, and then these are going to get attached to this piece right here. Now, because I don't want this all the way down here, I'm just going to maneuver this down some so that way this piece doesn't get all the way to the edge. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so now you're going to take your glue. You're going to apply the glue onto this piece right here. Make sure there is enough glue on there so that way it keeps it together. Okay. Then you're going to take it. You're just going to butt that up there to the line that you have on your green piece, or whatever piece you're using for the inside. Line it up. And then just hold it there for a little bit. And as you can see, there's no hole down in there. Might be a little bit of a bulky paper, but that's okay. You can fix that. Still leave that side there. Leave that on there like this. Just keep working it down until that keeps a hold of it. And if you want, take your clippies and clip it down. So that way, when you're working on the other side, this side is able to dry. Alright, so now you got that portion on there. That should be okay. Alright, now you're going to take this side and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to bend that down. Then you're going to take this piece and you're going to butt it, butt it as close as you can to that piece there, and you're going to attach it to that piece. Okay? So put your glue on here. Make sure there's enough glue on there. Take your piece. You got your line, so you can butt it up to that line that you made on your green piece. And same thing, you're going to hold it up there until it dries a little bit. And as you can see, there's no holes in there. So take your piece clip it on one more time. So this will stay on. Keep this piece hanging here and keep this piece here for now. Alright, so this is what your piece is going to look like as of right now. Don't worry about that piece right there. If you got too much glue there, that's going to hide anyway. So that is so far is the piece that we have going on right now. Alright, so now we have this portion. It has dried. You can take these off. And I see that one just a little bit, but I think it's okay. Alright, now we have that. So now your piece should look just like this with the bottom on the bottom, like that. Okay, and these pieces still hanging out. Leave them there so that they hang out. And yes, this one ripped, but this one did not. So we're still good. Alright, so now that you got that piece on, now what you're going to do is take, let's see, what sizes are these? These are going to be for the enclosures here. So you're going to have one in the back and one in the front. Now what I did is I made them, this would be the sleigh piece number 5. So what you're going to need is 2 pieces of chipboard or heavy cardstock, which I'm using heavy cardstock. And they're going to be 4.5 by 4. So you're going to score the 2 pieces a 1/2 inch on each side on the 4.5 inch side. And then at 3 3/8 on the 4 inch side. Now when you do this one, when you score it, you're going to butt it up to here and figure out, making sure that that's the right size that you need. So you can like right there, it is perfect right there. So put your paper in like this and then figure out how high you need it. Mark your little marks and then just go in and score it that way. But I did all 3. So when this goes inside of here, it will pretty much sit right on top. Right just to the top of that one. So that will look just like that. Alright. So now you have 2 pieces of those. You're going to score them both the same way. A 1/2 inch on each side on a 4.5 inch side. And then at 3 3/8 on the 4 inch side. Just on one side. Then you're going to have 4 pieces of paper. And they're going to be 4.5 by 4 inches. Okay. We're going to set this off to the side. We are going to apply glue all to this piece right here. Make sure you get it on the edges. You can use your score tape to do this if you want. You can just use glue or you can use a combination. Okay, so now I'm going to take it because this is going to be my bottom, this is going to be my top. I want my lines to go like this, so they're going to go across. So I'm going to apply them to here. Make sure it's down. Take the next piece. I'm going to apply glue to that piece. Make sure there's enough glue on there. And the same thing. Put this on top of here. So now you have front and back as the same piece. Okay. Then you're going to take your piece and you're going to take this other one and you're going to glue it the same way. Now your pattern paper can be any paper you want. You can have all your inside the same color. You can have your outside the same as your inside. You do it however you want to do it. This is your buggy, your sled. Alright, so same thing. Put this one here on top of here and you're going to glue this down. Burnish it down. Make sure it's all down in all areas. Flip it over. Glue this again. You can do this front as one color. You can do the back as another color. You can do whatever you decide you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. Or if you're making it for someone, make it in their colors. So we're going to put this one on here. Like that. Burnish it down. Now because you have the score marks, we're going to let those dry a little bit. Now that you have the score mark, you can totally bend this down. Bend that one down. Should have folded that one. And I don't know where the score mark is on that one. So we're going to bring out the scoreboard. And we're going to score this at, let's see. Take this. Oh, that one was pretty good. 1/2 inch. This one was at a 1/2 inch. So this one we're going to do at 3 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Alright. So now we have that one. We can fold it down. So fold it down. Fold it back up. Oh, we'll leave it down. I'm going to fold these ones down. Fold these ones down. So now you have this piece. Now, because you were putting it into your sleigh, we can take a little smidgen of these ones off. And let's see. This one's going to go up. So I think we're going to take it off on this side. Take it up on this side. We're going to fold this in this way so it keeps them together. We're going to fold this one down this way and keep this one together. So I'm going to put a dab of glue here. Apply it here to this one. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to apply it there. Then I'm going to take this, put some glue on this one, and I'm going to apply it there. And then I'm going to put a clippy there so that stays together. And that's going to dry. Then I'm going to take this one, because I left the score lines on this one already. Take those, and I believe it's this side. I don't remember. So let's do another one. Where did I put my score? There it is. Alright, so we're going to take this one, and we're going to do 3 3/8. Same thing. Put it right there in the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to fold that one down. Alright. So same thing. We're going to take the scissors. We're going to cut this piece right here off. We're going to cut this piece here down. And we're going to glue them down together. So now, this one goes here. Take this, fold it over. Take your clamp. Clamp it together so they don't move. Fold this one over. Put some glue on there. There we go. And then you're going to just take that there. And you're going to clamp it also. So take that and you clamp it. Alright, so now that one's going to dry. So we're going to move this out of our way. And we're going to work on this one. Bring back your sleigh. I think I'm going to use this one. For up here on the front. So wherever your lines are at, that's where you're going to adhere your piece. So you have a line here and you have a line here. So just take it and line it up with those lines. Now I did mark on the bottom here where I want those to be. So all I'm going to do is apply some glue to this piece right here. Apply some glue to this piece right here and right here. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it where my lines are. So there's one there, and there's one there. So this one goes here, and this one goes here. And just maneuver it a little bit so you can get that to go on. Maneuver that one, maneuver that one, and then just tack them down. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. This one I really can't do because it's in the middle section, so just press it down a little bit. And actually, if I was thinking about it, I would have put those ones in the bottom instead, but that's okay. Alright, so now you have your first piece inside. Okay, now you're going to take your second piece and because this one's not glued down all the way, we're going to make this and turn it around. So this piece is going to go behind here. So let's put a little bit of glue on this one. Only because it'll make it look right on the other side. So we're going to put this one underneath instead. Okay. Then we're going to switch this one. And this one's going to go this way. So put some glue onto this one. There we go. And then we're going to plop it back on this one. Alright. So now we have those two there. Now what I'm going to do is apply some glue onto this one. Apply some glue to this one. And same thing. I have my line marks there. So I'm going to find my mark in the back on the bottom. So there's one there on the bottom and one there on the bottom. Okay, that should line up right to your line that you have on your green piece. Okay, you're going to do it on that side, get it to where you need it to be, and then you're going to clamp it. Same way with this side. Make sure it's there. Make sure it's in the right spot. And then you're going to clamp it. So now you have this portion here. We're going to let that dry a little bit and then we'll be back.